Hey guys, and welcome to Pixel Cherry Ninja's channel. We have 4 new arcade games for the MiSTer FPGA. The first one we're looking at is Juno First. Now, the developer behind this is RodimusFVC, and they are new to the MiSTer FPGA scene. They released their first core just a couple of weeks ago. It was Toot and a Cam, like that maze game where you can fire lasers left and right. It was an interesting game, difficult, but these games are definitely before my time. I wanted to start with Juno First because out of the 4 games we are going to have a look at today, this is definitely my favorite. This is something that the developer Mr. Jimmy Stones was working on previously. I'm not actually sure if they released it or not. I remember doing a video having a look at a beta of this that Jimmy Stones provided me, but it's really nice to see Rodimus getting his teeth stuck into FPGA core development. After 1 core, they've now released another 4 cores. You can grab these from GitHub. These will hit update tool at some point, but currently they are a manual install. And guys, Juno First is kind of interesting. You can go forward, you can go back, and there's plenty of stuff to shoot. I like when you see stuff in the horizon and you move in. So good work from Rodimus. Also guys, Rodimus has set up a Ko-fi account. I'll leave a link to that in the description. If you do appreciate his work and you want to support his efforts, then feel free to do so. There's no obligation, there's no pressure, just if you want to, if you like to, if you're from that era of arcade gaming. I'm definitely from an era after, but I definitely appreciate everything that Rodimus does, and hopefully as he keeps going through all the games from like the early 80s, he can get to the mid and the late 80s at some point where he can start making games more up my street. I'm only kidding there, Rodimus. Do what you want, develop what you want. Everything has fans, and I'm sure people will be happy with Juno First. But let's move over to the next game. And here we are, we're having a look at Blueprint. Now, when we had a look at this in a video last week, the graphics were a little bit muddled up. Like for example, your character, his head wasn't on top of his shoulders, but it was actually below his kneecaps. And if you're going to tell me that's normal, then you might want to see a doctor because you may have been born wrong. But it's working now. The blueprints you can see properly. You can kind of match them up with the map. So this is really, really cool. If this is your jam, then hey, you can play this a lot better now. Now, these aren't, as far as I know, currently available via update tool. So if you want to grab these, follow the GitHub link in the description, add the MRA files, the RVF files, and match the main ROM with the game, and you can be playing away. That's exactly what I did just before I shot this video. So the next game we're checking out is this one here. It's called Grasspin, and it's made by Jalico. Now, I started playing this, I had no idea what I was going into. So when you press a button, the map, the level, those things there go from horizontal to vertical, and I guess you're kind of keeping the enemies out, apart from the annoying one that keeps flying. I didn't actually work out what to do in this game. What I was trying to do is grabbing those like polo things and dashing them in the water, and then it kind of pushes you down. Honestly, I couldn't quite work it out, but again, it's another game. If you played these games in the arcade, definitely let me know. Let me know how to play this game. In fact, I can kind of work it out, but when I did eventually clear all 6 of those polos, it didn't tell me to advance to the next stage. So clearly I'm doing something wrong. So really, really interesting seeing this stuff. And again, if you are around in the era of arcade when these were current, then definitely let me know about these. I love hearing arcade stories. I love hearing about the environment, the buzz, and what these games were bringing you at the time. The final game we are having a look at is a game called Saturn, and I know we have a system called the Saturn on the MiSTer FPGA. In fact, the Saturn core is one of my favorite cores. Now this game, when I first started it, I thought it was left to right, Space Invaders Galaxian style, but no, that it kind of locks you in at the beginning. Once you see Saturn in the background, you can move up and down. You've got 2 fire buttons, a normal fire and like a double fire that goes a bit slow. I was trying to see if the double fire was limited, but it seemed to, well, not run out. So it's quite hectic, it's quite fast, and I can see from that era this actually being a classic and a favorite for many. So guys, that's it for these games. Let me know what you think, let me know what your favorite is. Try and support the developer if you are able to do so, and that's really it guys. Be freaking awesome to one another. This is Pixel Cherry Ninja out.